Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing an update here from my office. Just going to fill you in on why I haven't been creating content, why I've been canceling live streams, why I haven't really been doing much within the community or on the website or really anything over the last month or so. And actually over the past like 6 to 9 months, it's been kind of backing off a little bit. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys an update, talk about what's going on, probably get a little bit personal here. If you've been following the channel for the last, we're going on like 7 years now, something like that. I've created a lot of content. I think we're upwards around 900 videos at this point. And over the last 2 years, with everything that's changed in my life, as you guys know, I'm a single dad with 4 boys now. They're with me half the time, so creating content during those days is not exactly the easiest. But either way, there's been a lot of changes over the last 2 years, so content isn't what it used to be. Trust me, I'm trying to figure out how to work with that, how to get back into a lot of the DIY stuff, a lot of the older type of content, a lot of those things that I used to do. So I'm trying to brainstorm and trying to figure that out on top of taking care of the kids, running the business and, life and jiu-jitsu and competitions and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot on my plate. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of talk about what's going on. I don't really have any outline, so we're probably going to be jumping around a little bit. But either way, let's go and get started. So last week, I told you guys in the community tab that I had to head to Vermont. My father was passing. 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't the cancer that killed him. He was drinking. He's drank my entire life, his entire life, pretty much since he was like 13 years old. At least that's what he told me. And so he actually died from liver failure. So his liver cirrhosis of the liver, I believe it is, and then organ shutting down on top of that. And then he passed away last Monday. So with that, I went down there, or up there, we're Pennsylvania. So I went up to Vermont and I stayed with him through his passing, or pretty much through it. I actually left, and then an hour later, my brother called me and said he passed. So he literally waited for me to leave, and then he passed. So, I heard that, people do that. Try not to take it too personal, but it was pretty rough. It was a pretty rough drive home. It's like 7 hours, and Lauren and I were already exhausted because we drove up the day before. It was just a rough ride home, and just wanted the ride to be over pretty much. But yeah, so with that said, over the last couple months, I've had jiu-jitsu competitions. Lauren had a death in her family, so we had to go to New York. My uncle died, so we had to go back to Vermont. So there's been a lot of death, a lot of, we had the Spartan race, the BJJ competition. So it's just been a lot of traveling on the days that I don't have the boys, and, working, trying to get around that as well. So it's just been very busy over the last couple months, and hopefully it will slow down a little bit. But with that said, I will be heading up for the funeral later or early next week, and I'll be there taking care of that. So I've already talked to some people who had orders that need to be shipped out regarding coral, and I'm kind of working around my schedule to get that. So yeah, just kind of been a little extra busy. I don't know how to chop it up. With that said, the emotional stuff that's attached to it. I don't know about you guys, but when I deal with, pretty much my whole life, the way that I deal with emotional stress, just in general, not just deaths, but, Afghanistan stuff, stuff with the boys and just life in general, I tend to eat as a coping mechanism. And I know a lot of you guys, I actually know at least 3 of you have emailed me, because I've talked about it in previous videos, saying that you have the same problem. I know that there's some other people in the community that have the same thing, but I tend to turn to food for, as my way of feeling better. And unfortunately, fighting, jiu-jitsu competitions and then using food as a way to feel better, it doesn't really work out, because then I'm fighting in higher weight brackets that I don't really want to fight in, and then I don't feel that great because I'm not in the shape that I want to be. So unfortunately, that's why I took 2nd place in my last competition. It was just a really rough day. These guys were monsters. All of them were just monsters, or I was just having a really bad day. But either way, I took 2nd, so it's not horrible. I went 5-1. I lost 1 fight. It's the only fight I've ever lost. It just still was like a kind of kick in the face, kind of realizing that I need to, fix things. So, yeah, so I, with that said, the way I used to deal with me eating, I used to, dealing with, binge eating, all that stuff. I turned to keto, and I was for keto for the longest time, but I don't like to fight in keto, so it's just not a long-term solution. Plus with the boys, they don't eat keto, so it's kind of like I'm making 2 meals. So I've kind of moved more into the Mediterranean type of diet, with lots of vegetables, lots of, olive oil and all that kind of stuff. And I feel a lot better on that. I just have to kind of adjust and get used to the portions. So, but with that said, yeah, I've definitely bounced around. I don't know where I went with that, but yeah. So I just been dealing with a lot of stuff, personal end. You know, still going through the stuff with the court with the boys. So just kind of dealing with all of that. That's not over yet. You know, attorneys are stupid expensive. As you guys know, the economy is not doing that great, so sales are not what they used to be. Not nearly what they used to be. It's just because I don't really have as much coral as I once had. I know that I had a while back, I had some issues. I had quite a bit of die off just because power was out for a while. I had a nutrient dip as well, so I lost quite a few colonies out of the tub. Nothing too crazy, but they were my good colonies. They were decent. They were the ones I was making some good money on. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. So you know, with coral loss and dealing with that, and then just not selling as much coral, restarting the 300 gallon, which you know we had to do because we had to get Big Bertha out of the tank. And by the way, she's doing pretty good. She's in the tub. So yeah. And then I didn't know with this Lacey Act. I don't know if you guys heard about that, where they were trying to stop you know, shipping live animals. You know, everything, bunnies, snakes, mice, all that kind of stuff, and coral. Looks like that is not going to go through. So with that, I'm actually going to focus more on getting my coral back to where it was, because I was in limbo for almost a year just trying to figure out if I want to keep doing coral or should I put my focus in 3D printing, just because I didn't know if they were going to shut down coral shipping. You know, what's the point of having all these colonies and not being able to ship outside Pennsylvania? So yeah, now that that's kind of not going through, I can kind of dive back into that. So yeah, that's just a few things, right? But listen, life is full of seasons, right? Or storms. We'll better yet, we'll say storms. So you're either coming out of a storm, you're getting ready to go into one, or you're in one. Right now, the last 2 years, I've been kind of coming out and going in. It's been pretty rough, but it's the way life is, and it's okay, because I know that everything happens for a reason, and you know, realistically, diamonds are not made out of, you know, snowflakes. You know, sometimes they need pressure and they need to be, you know, you need to be squeezed, and you need to go through hard times to be able to develop and change and become a better person, and you know, do things differently and go down a different path. And I know that sometimes it takes a lot of pressure and a lot of things in your life to move you in that direction. And so far, I've been doing pretty good. Single dad of 4 boys, man. That's rough stuff. Well, okay. It's rough when it comes to creating content. Other than that, we hang out all day, play video games. They help me work downstairs, you know, help me make dinner. They're just like, you know, they're great. They're great to have around. But it's rough too. It's you know, it's not easy. Not easy, but it's okay. I wouldn't change it for anything. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I got. Website wise, I have made quite a few changes to the website, just kind of the way it loads, how the 3D printing section works. So when you click on 3D printing, it kind of shows you a bunch of stuff instead of going to the tabs. So if you guys want to check out the website, and this is just random, just let me know what you think. Feedback is always good. I'm always liking feedback on the website, on the Facebook page, on the Instagram, on anything, YouTube videos. Feedback is key because I can't fix something if I don't know what it is. But with that said, how long I've been talking for? I don't know. It says 8 minutes, but I don't know if it's been that long. Yeah, with that said, my plan is to dive into, I get really long emails, and unfortunately, the daily Q&A stuff is fine if they're small questions and easy questions that I can answer there. But I get in-depth emails that I want to do in here and go through and address them and fix your guys' problem. So if you have a problem that it might require more time than just a daily Q&A, feel free to email me. I just put it in like the title, email question and stuff, and then it will be funneled directly into my email Q&A folder so it doesn't get lost. But yeah, other than that, guys, I appreciate all the support. There's been a ton of support on the channel still, and trust me, with the way things are going, yeah, I really appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough for everybody who's continuing to buy coral and 3D printing and all that good stuff. Somebody asked me if I was getting more 3D printers. I don't plan on getting any at the moment just because I don't have any more room. Actually, I don't have any more power outlets, at least not downstairs. We've added some down there, and there's just too much. Right now, I only have one printer down, which is pretty good. I actually started a log where I'm keeping track of all the maintenance on each printer and being able to find problems quickly and address them and being able to get printers back up and running a little bit faster. So other than that, it's been working out pretty good. Coral sales, I'm cleaning the tub right now, getting my nutrients back in check. The 300 is growing. It's doing pretty decent. to be expected. I mean, I started off with little bitty frags again. I mean, I went from a full tank into little smidgens. I mean, they're growing, but it's not going to happen overnight. So yeah, last thing, moving. I mean, I'm in a townhouse here. I do want to move at the end of the year, but I got to finish paying off my attorney stuff. I got to finish. I got a couple credit cards I want to pay off and just kind of get out of that debt. Just because I'm not one to I don't want to owe people money or owe credit card companies. I know a company is not technically a person, but I don't feel comfortable with that. And I don't want to take out a $250,000 loan when I already owe money. With taxes and all kind of stuff like that. So I'm not really interested in doing that at the moment. So I'll probably stay for another year. And hopefully the economy gets better, housings and all that kind of stuff gets better. Yeah, we'll see. If it's meant to be, it will be. We'll save that for another day. But with that said, guys, that's about it for the video. I know I jumped around. We've been talking for like 11 minutes. So anyways, I appreciate all the support and yeah, see you next time. Peace.